I hope you and your family can spend some time at camp in Young Judea.
Complicated. Am I going now?
You're rolling.
But you can cut this now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hi. Do I have to look in there? I'm going to look up here.
Sure.
Okay. My name. I'm not going to look at you though, because that's weird. Sorry. Okay. My name is Lauren Goldberg. It's my 10th summer at camp this summer, and right now I'm a unit head for the 6th graders. And the reason that I've come back to camp so many summers, and the reason why I love this camp, is really the family feeling and the feeling of community that you get from being at such a small, secluded camp. I know especially in the Midwest and in all of America, there's a lot of kids that come from very small Jewish communities at home, and they find Judaism and they find activities about Israel at camp that they would never learn about or never any other way. And they meet friends that they would never meet, in their communities at home. Some of my best friends in the entire world I met at camp, and I've known them forever. And I know a lot of people who are planning on sending their children to camp, and who are currently sending their children to camp right now. And it's just a really special feeling that you get from coming from lots of different places and coming together and learning about Israel and Judaism and forming a Jewish identity and gaining leadership skills that you wouldn't find any other way. And I think I'm going to have to stop talking now.
No, that was good.
That's good. The thing to think about you guys is that...
Hi, I'm Debbie Benayan, and I'm the unit head for the Ada Kesher, which is going into 7th grade. Last session I worked with both 6th and 7th graders, and I'd have to say it's a lot of fun working with them. It's a time period where the kids are going through a lot of changes in their life, both physically and mentally. They're trying to figure out who they are and who they want to be. I have no idea what I want to say right now, just thinking about stuff.
What does camp mean to you?
No, I can't answer that question. Coming to camp is a great experience, especially when you're younger, because it's a chance where you get to do things that you don't normally do. You can't do at home or you can't do at school. And it's very different. Kids take chances. They don't do what... need some help here.
They get to be more independent.
Okay. Kids get to learn to be more independent, and they get to learn how it is to live with a bunch of other people and how to work with people. And it gives them a chance to explore their Jewish identity. That's what the 7th graders are doing right now. And they're doing a lot of activities, both related Jewishly and not. And can I start again? Yeah. I can't do this. I love coming to Camp Young Judea. This is my 3rd summer working as a counselor. And one of the reasons why I come back here is because it's pluralistic. And I see kids coming from different backgrounds who've learned different things in their homes, but they're able to come together at camp and teach each other the different aspects of Judaism and what's important to them and learn from each other, which I think is one of the key things in Judaism, is not to... I can't think of anything. I'm sorry, never been on camera.
That's okay. It's all right, you're doing fine.
Okay. Let me think of more. I work with these kids every summer. I walk away hoping that they'll feel more connected to their religion and that they'll have a love for Judaism. I hope that they'll remember what their counselors have taught them, and I also hope that their counselors learn a lot from them.
I can't see if you're going to wave it around.
Okay, I'm Julie Ruskin. This is my 12th summer at Camp Young Judea. I was a camper here from 1989 until about 5 years ago. I've worked a few different jobs at camp. I've worked in the kitchen, I've been a counselor, a unit leader, and just helped around camp doing some activities, which is part of the reason why I love camp so much, that it's more of a family atmosphere, that everybody comes and helps out, and there's always room for someone, and that's something that the kids grow up feeling. And that's hopefully one of the things that they come back for, that they learn that as a camper and they come back and they teach that to other kids. One of the things that the kids learn here is the idea of family, and learn the idea of that this is a home for them and it's someplace that they can...
You're doing something.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Now she's nervous.
I
Sorry.
just have it.
I'm scared. Well, it's messing up the sound. but
Sorry. Okay. So the kids come back to camp and they implement all the things that they've learned as campers here at camp, and they teach it to their kids when they're on staff. And that's one of the things that makes for a great family atmosphere, is that the staff here, a lot of them have been campers, and they teach their campers what they've learned, and the traditions all carry on. What else?
Sure.
Rolling.
Hi, my name is Jordan Feeder, and I'm a madrich here, or a counselor, and this is my second time doing that, my second summer, and I've been going to camp here for 9 years. I'm also the tefillot specialist, which means that I'm in charge of running the religious activities here at camp and overseeing them. Something that's really interesting about camp and what makes it really special is that we're pluralist, and it's also taken from Young Judea's religious policy, where we're non-denominational and we invite all sects of Judaism to come and partake in our service. And so kids from Orthodox families and kids from very secular families can get together and enjoy Judaism and the rituals together on a very cultural and wonderful level. We promote Kalal Yisrael, which means the unity of the Jewish people. And we really want there to be a unifying characteristic, which is what we use religion for in tefillot here. That you know that Jews all over the world are doing it, and they're doing it also here at the same time, and it really means a lot to them. We do a lot of different religious activities. We keep traditional values. We're shomer mitzvot, which means that we observe and follow all of the mitzvot on Shabbat and during the day, and we keep kosher, and we do everything like this. And what it provides for is this really healthy environment for learning and acceptance, which is something that we really do want to promote here, and we go through that through religion. Something that's really interesting is this idea of cultural Judaism here, because some people don't feel so comfortable all the time with all right, I'm going to start over from that part. Okay. Something that's really nice about cultural Judaism is that even if you're not so into the traditions of Judaism, you're still able to look at it through a cultural perspective and see that there's all these Jews around you that are doing the same thing, and Jews around you and Jews all over the world. And it's kind of like what Echad Ha'am, the cultural Zionist leader, said, that he said, it's not the Jews that keep Shabbat, it's Shabbat that keeps the Jews. And this is something that we really like to promote here at camp, and that I hope I'm doing okay with. Thank you.
Okay.
Every morning we have tefillot that's led by an edah, that's led by a group, and there's a theme that's presented, whether it's songs or poetry or feelings or a mood is presented in the theme. And we also have alternative tefillot, which are different kinds of activities, pulot, that we can do and put on to make the chanechim and ourselves have a stronger connection to the tefillot and to understand really what we're saying. So we use it as an educational tool as well. Also, as far as education is concerned here, we have Zionist and Jewish education that are considered hand in hand, and we educate and try to provide deep feelings towards the state of Israel, as well as our peoplehood and our culture for the past 3,000 years. And in doing so, we really hope to create an environment of serious intellectual discussions based on these different things with kids of all ages, because they can handle it. And we, on Shabbat, we have Friday night tefillot, Kabbalat Shabbat, and we also have a long Torah reading service, not long, but a service done. We also have a service on Shabbat morning that we read Torah and observe those special traditions also. So when you come to camp here, it's not just, I mean, it's so fun. It's not just basketball and soccer and sports and things like that. And what really makes us special here at Young Judea Midwest is that, and Young Judea in general, is that we promote chinuch, we promote education among camp, whether it's on leadership, whether it's on Judaism, on Zionism, whatever the cause is, we're trying to educate as much as possible here. You send your kids here and they get a strong foundation for their Jewish identity, which is going to carry them through for the rest of their lives.
I'm Noah.
And I'm Gal.
We're from the Israeli Scouts.
I live in Ramat Efal.
I live in Savion. We came to do all kind of a Scouts activity in camp and to be a counselors.
But I think that the most important part of us here is to represent Israeli teenagers in America and to show what the similars stuff that we do and the difference between the stuff that we do in Israel.
To represent Israel and the Scouts, and that's it.
Yes.
תגידו משהו על המשלחת, שאתם חלק ממשלחת שככה וככה, ויש את הקרוון וזה.
Wait till he's done. Okay.
We are part of a bigger delegation, Mishlachat, of Israelis in camp, but we are younger, we're from high school. And every summer, we also bring the caravan, which are 10 people who sing and dance to the kids, Israeli songs. They're also from the Scouts. And what else?
That's it.
And we like this camp. It's really fun.
Oh yeah, we love it. The main reason why I like this camp is because it's got like a personal attitude for every kid, because it's a very small camp, and that's it.
It's great working here. The people are great. They accept you with no problems. And the kids are really nice. And that's it.
Okay, hi, shalom, my name is Emil Zeidman. I'm the Shaliach, which is the emissary from Israel in this camp, and I'm the educational director and program director in this camp. It is my 3rd year in this camp and my 12th year in the overall field of informal education and Jewish education. The program in this camp, what I like the most about the program in this camp is that it's very, very varied. There's a lot of things that the kids do and a lot of elements that we put in, whether it's the organized activities that they do with their Edot, with their age groups, whether it's the activities that they're doing in Chugim, in choice periods, when they go and they choose some of the activities that we offer, whether it's the tiulim, the outdoor activities and the outdoor trips, or the all camp, the evening activities that we do with the all camp together, all the special days that we have. We have a lot of elements that all in all give a whole picture of Israel and Zionism and Judaism and fun and general values and all of those things that we want to give the kids here in this camp. Israel is very important for the movement, for Young Judah as a whole, and in this camp in particular. That's why we bring more than a quarter of the madrichim, of the counselors here, are from Israel. And there's a say behind that. It's not just that it's easier to get counselors from Israel, because it's not, but there's a say that we say Israel is important to us, that's why we want to have Israelis here. That's why we want to have this informal bonding between Israeli staff members and American staff members, between the Israeli madrichim, the counselors, and between the chanichim, the campers. And this connection, I think, is one of the most important things that we have here in this camp. Another thing that we have in this camp, we like to say that this camp is Israeli in your backyard, which is basically, this camp is Little Israel. We say the announcements in Hebrew. We talk a lot in Hebrew. You hear music, Israeli music, when you go down next to the cabins. You listen to Israelis going around around the camp. You see all of that, and that's basically the camp. The camp is Little Israel. We're doing activities about Israel. The kids learn about places in Israel and the history of Israel and Israeli culture. We're having Israeli dancing and Israeli singing. So in many, many ways, we use Israel as a way for the kids to know about their Judaism. Because we turn through Israel, we turn Judaism from something that might be something old or something that belongs to the past or is not very relevant to their life. We turn it into something hip and something cool and something that they can get along with and something that they're proud to do and to be Jewish. And that's, I think, the connection between Israel and Judaism. Later on, when they'll grow up in the movement, they'll go to Tel Yehuda, our senior camp, and from there to Israel, and they'll strengthen the relationship between Israel and themselves. And that's our interpretation of Zionism, putting a focus on Israel and putting a focus about the relationship between American Jewry and Israel. So let me breathe a little bit. One of the things that is most important here is, I think, is the educational. Every Eda, every age group has an educational theme. It's the same theme for all the junior camps of Young Judea around the nation. So in that sense, we're very fortunate to be part of a movement and to use a lot of the resources that the movement gives us. The themes are revolving around Israel or Judaism or general values. So it could be Jewish heroes and the Jewish life cycle, which is for the younger age groups, Jewish identity for the Bar Mitzvah year, Israel and the history of Israel for the older age groups, tolerance and democracy for the older age groups again. So what we're trying to do, we try to have a theme that they have the educational activities revolved around, they have the arts and crafts activities, they have the atzaga, the play that they're doing for the camp, that it revolves around this theme. So in that sense, a kid that comes into camp, it doesn't get a random collection of activities, but he gets one structure of education and sort of like builds one on top of the other. So he'll have the same themes throughout the session. So when the kids come here on his first year, he knows that he comes at point A and he leaves at point B. And then when he comes the next year, he continues from point B to point C, and so on and so on. So by the end, when they reach our senior camp, Tel Yehuda in New York, kids from all over the nation, more than 600 kids, all of them living and growing up in the Young Judea camps, all of them would come with the same background and with the same knowledge. And that's how we harmonize the movement and create one big movement across the nation. For me, as an Israeli who came here for 3 years, shlichut, for a 3-year term of serving here, camp for me was definitely a home. It was definitely a place where I come every summer, and it's part of Israel, and I come here and I feel comfortable in here. And that's, I think, what your kid can feel here too, of coming here and really belong to a community. And all the kids here, I all know them by name. I see them grow up in those last 3 years, from little Ophies up to teenagers, where they start thinking questions and they start asking questions and thinking about all kinds of things. And it's really creating a sense of home, a second home for many of the kids. The main home is still your home, back there for 340 days of the year. But for 24 days in a year, this camp, for all of the Chanichim, all of the campers here, this is their home. And this is my home too for that period of time. And I think that this is the biggest thing that you or your kids can expect by coming here and by being here for.
Oh, this is so terrifying.
Yeah, so cool. I want to do it.
Roll.
Hi, I'm Debbie Schwabacher, Waterfront Director at CYJ Midwest. We have an amazing program at this waterfront. For free swims, we use the buddy system. Each camper will have a buddy, and every 15 minutes we do a buddy check to make sure that everybody's still there and okay. On top of that, we have at least 3 up to 5 lifeguards at all times watching the kids. I have them 3 to 4 times each week for instructional, and they learn water skiing and swimming during those times. I have an amazing ski staff, very well trained. They're here every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, actually. I am totally screwing up right now.
All right, it's okay. It's okay, relax.
Okay. Other activities that we have at the waterfront include fishing and canoeing and rowing, and I don't even know what else. Help.
Do you train the staff?
Do I train? I do not train staff.
Staff trained in like CPR or late?
Yeah. Oh, you probably want me to talk a little bit about my certifications.
Yes.
Okay. Continuing.
Yes.
All right. I am WSI certified, which means I'm certified to be a swim instructor. I am lifeguard certified for pools and lakes. And I am first aid, safety, and CPR certified for children, infants, and adults. I trained all the senior staff at this camp CPR for adults. All the campers at this camp, their ages are adult age. Help! Can we stop for a sec?